Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm QDenX, and today we are going to be reacting to a Dr. Phil video. Now, it's not something I've ever really done before. This is the first time I've ever reacted to any kind of video on this YouTube channel, so today God damn it, I dropped my remote. So today we are going to be reacting to transitioning. She regrets transitioning from female to male. So it's like when you're transgender, but then you're a female, but then you transition to a male, but then you want to be a female again, but you already chopped your cucumber off, so you can't go back. Oh my god, when you're a female transitioning to a male.
I'm confused.
Wait, how does the transgender surgery work from female to male? I mean, because if you're born a man and you transition to a woman, you chop your cucumber off. But if you're a woman transitioning to a man and you want surgery, how do they just chop off somebody else's cucumber then put it on the woman? Dude, I have no idea. But the point is, we're gonna be watching this video today. Let's get into it. Let's watch.
I was born biologically female. I began transitioning and taking hormones when I was 18 years old. Growing up, I couldn't pinpoint what my issues were, and then I realized,
God damn, we got a Harley Quinn here. Oh my god. Bro, why did Harley Quinn...
that it might be a gender issue. When I turned 18, I did go to Planned Parenthood. I just stated that I had gender dysphoria, and they gave me testosterone a week later. Before I went on hormone therapy, I wasn't required to see any therapist or any sort of a doctor at all. So about 1.5 years after I was on hormones, I decided to see a therapist about getting approval for top surgery. I walked in on one appointment for half an hour, and then she emailed my insurance for approval, just like that. Even at this point, when I was passing as a man, I still had these doubts in the back of my mind.
Oh god damn, this is the most manly picture I've ever seen from a woman transition into a man. I mean, this person really looks like a man. Honestly. And also, what is up with the person's voice? So she was biologically born a female, but now she transitioned to a man, but then she retransitioned back into a female, but her voice is still deep as a man. Dude, I can tell why she regrets it now, because she sounds way too manly to be a woman.
Mind that said, what if you're wrong? What if you made a mistake? In the end, I decided not to do the surgery. At that point that I decided...
What surgery? How does that surgery even work? How do you transition from a female to a male with surgery? Like, how do you, like, if you're a female, you're not even born with a cucumber, so how do they chop off another man's cucumber, then put it on the woman? I know I already said that, I already asked that question, but it's still, like, my big question here. How does that work?
Transition and live my life as a woman again. Even as an adult, it took me a long time to figure out who I was and who I wanted to be. Kids especially.
Okay, I'm 15 years old and I already figured out who I am. I'm QDenX, a manly man who is about to make it in life, who is about to be a successful YouTuber on the channel. Yeah! Let's get back.
Need to see a therapist before making any sort of permanent medical decisions like going on hormone blockers and surgeries especially. I mean, they don't even know what they want for dinner the next day, let alone what gender they are. The biggest mistake that I made was that I did not get the right amount of therapy or medical advice needed.
You don't need that. Dude, you don't need therapy. Your biggest mistake? You say that's not getting enough therapy. Or medical advice. You say that's your biggest mistake there? You're dead wrong there. Your biggest mistake, I have no idea. I haven't lived this person's life, but I can tell you that's probably not your biggest mistake. I've made mistakes in the past that I wish I could go back in time and undo that. But I can't, because time travel simply doesn't exist, and it never will, but let's get back to the video. It just makes me upset that she says this is her biggest mistake.
These days, if you tell a parent if their child thinks that they might be transgender or has gender dysphoria, to wait and really consider it and maybe seek other therapy, you're just seen as transphobic now because you're not accepting people. I'm not anti-trans at all. I support the trans community very much, but I also support medical responsibility.
So you're... That makes no sense. You said you regret being trans. Like, you don't want to be trans, which means you're transphobic. God, dude, why do I really have to keep sitting down here and correcting this person? She's getting it all wrong.
Responsibility.
If you question this at all, you get labeled really quickly, correct?
You do, immediately as transphobic.
Why do you think that is?
I think that a lot of the transgender community, they push so much for acceptance that when you immediately, or anytime you start to question them, even if it's out of the kind of goodness of your heart to try and make sure that they're making the right decision, anything that goes against their narrative is just immediately labeled as transphobic.
Now, after you started to transition, how else did you begin to change your life to live as a man?
I had changed my name. I started wearing a binder. I even moved.
Oh, what? Wait, what? You started... Hold on. Did she just say she started wearing a binder? This thing? What? Come on! Makes no fucking sense. I don't wear a binder as underwear.
Because at the time I was very hesitant to actually come out to coworkers, so I moved about 4 hours away, got a completely different job, and introduced myself as a trans man.
Okay. And what happened when you began to schedule time to get a double mastectomy?
I haven't had any top surgeries, but I did get approved for it.
Okay, that's what it is. You got approved for it.
I did. I got approved. And how that worked, it was scarily easy to do because I had just called a therapist and I had scheduled one appointment.
Dude, look at this picture. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm being a bully. Let's continue.
One for a 30-minute session to talk about it. And I essentially walked in. I said, I identify as transgender and I want to get top surgery. And we chatted for a bit, maybe for half an hour. And at the end of the session, she wrote me an approval letter to send to my insurance. And then I got approved just like that.
When you first started, you went in, you said to Planned Parenthood.
Yes.
And they gave you testosterone immediately.
Yeah, I essentially just made a phone call and said, I want to transition. And it was immediately given. I got a prescription and went to pick it up a week later.
Did they ask you questions? Did they do any psychological testing? Did they ask you why? What was your motive?
It was completely self-diagnosed. Well, self-diagnosed. I claimed that I had gender dysphoria and I wanted to transition, and they didn't really ask me any questions about it. I just called them and I said, when can I get this? And they just said they needed to write me a prescription for it and send it, and that's essentially
you
what
had
happened.
No proof that you were gender dysphoric. You didn't.
Yeah, I didn't talk to anyone about it. Nobody medically professionally. I had just looked up. I did some trans research, I guess, into the transgender community and everybody online, and they just seemed so happy and successful. And at the time, I didn't see any information on detransition or any the negatives about it. And so I kind of got completely wrapped into that.
Gender dysphoria can be a miserable way to live if that's what they're experiencing. And there are criteria for that. And one of the criteria is time, that is persistent across time. But you didn't have any of those criteria. You didn't demonstrate that. You didn't document that. You didn't have any professional that documented that.
Nope.
You just said, I want testosterone. They gave it to you.
Yeah, I had confused because
Hey, I want steroids. Give it to me. Give it to me, doctor. I want it. I want to be big and puff. Oh, I want to be bigger than him.
Well, I had become uncomfortable with how society had seen me as a woman sexually, and I had confused that being uncomfortable with my gender as gender dysphoria and being uncomfortable with my body. So I didn't actually have gender dysphoria. I had just confused myself into thinking that I did.
Oh, I didn't have ADHD. I just confused myself into thinking I had ADHD.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.
Oh, well, that's today's Dr. Phil video. Honestly, in my opinion, it leaves me so many questions, it leaves so many unanswered questions and mysteries. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!